to approve the street closure between Second Corso and Third Corso on 7th Street on July 20th through July 24th, 2026 from 5 to 8:30 p.m. for a sports challenge at First Baptist Church. And lastly, to approve the Board of Public Works recommendation to pay Judd Brothers Construction Company for work completed on the WWTD clarifier project for a total cost of $104,752.98, which was previously approved from the board. Is there any item which the commissioner would like to hold down to new business for further discussion? This time I move for passage of all five consent items.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Whalen?
Yes.
Commissioner Cheney?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Osowski?
Yes.
Mayor Becker?
Yes. Item 6 was 36 years in the making to get to this point, so at this point, we're going to recognize Captain Lonnie Neiman. I'm going to set the stage a little bit. The chief is going to join me up front here. Of course, Captain Neiman is going to join me, but we've got a great looking police department, and they always, like the church, they take the back row, so I'm going to ask the whole department to please line up.
Chief Lacy, if you'd step up here and join us, because you dealt with him way longer than we did.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, no, actually, Dave, was instrumental in me getting into law years ago. So,
Is that a good looking PD or what?
Looks like a post office wall.
But tonight, like I said, 36 years in the making, and that's a long time for anybody to do a single job and doing it as well as what Captain Neiman has. Any employee from the city that's been with us for 36 years, that's quite an accomplishment. Seems like just months ago, I was giving you your 25-year certificate, and that was 10 or 11 years ago that we were doing that. But, before we move on forward, how about we have some of your family come up here and join us? You all can be on this side.
We didn't want Dave to feel left out over here.
I think it's always important that the family be here because you can't do this job. There's a lot of jobs you can't do, but especially this job you cannot do without the support of your family. It's a tough, demanding job, and over the 36 years, I'm sure there's a lot that Lonnie saw that he couldn't share with Lori or the family, but wanted to protect them from what he had seen and other legal reasons. But hopefully he could share those times as a police officer when he saw the best of the best in people. And it's been a long time. He's seen a lot of changes in the occupation and in the profession. When he came in January of 1990 was the year that's credited with starting the World Wide Web. So he didn't have a laptop on the console at the time when he started. A lot of things were happening at that time. He's seen a lot of change. Seen the country and this community go through a lot of change. And especially the last 5 or 6 years have been a change in policing that was different. Because I grew up as a police officer's son, and I didn't see my dad go through some of the things that police officers had to go through in 2019s, 2020s, but we've survived it, and these folks have done an outstanding job. And it's a dangerous, tough job, as is evidenced by this room being named after Gary White. So it's a tough job with all of that. But to put it in perspective with something that I know that Lonnie went a little closer to Lonnie in 1990, the 1990 Corvette production model was only $32,479. That was a ways back.
yeah,
I want to make sure that everybody understands that when I say volume of work, this is off of the city administrator has had each department do a year wrap up. But for 2025, this department alone answered a total calls of 13,128, 272 arrests, total reports 7,339, traffic stops 1,571. So that's 1 year's worth of volume of work, and that just tells you there's a lot going on, and especially over 36 years. I'm sure when you were on the road, the traffic stops were a lot higher,
We had a lot of kids cruising up and down Main Street, parking lots. Yeah, we had a lot of trouble.
Like I said, Lonnie joined us, his first day starting employment, January 29, 1990. In January 3rd, 2001, he was promoted to police sergeant. January 3rd, 2007, he was promoted to police captain. In July of 2024, he took the reins of the department when Chief Lacey retired, and he served as our interim chief until we brought Chief Murray on board. He's been recognized in 2026 by our Crime Stoppers for his years of service as a liaison to the police department. He has served under Chief Rump, Chief Muldoon, Chief Lacey, and Chief Murray. And he's been an ambassador for the department and an ambassador for the city. And 36 years in law enforcement, my hat is off to you. And I'd like to say, I know you couldn't have done it without the support of your family and everyone. I'm going to turn it over to the chiefs now.
I'm not gonna talk about him. We need to know what I'm doing.
I'm not as prepared as Mayor Beckett, but I've worked with Captain Neiman here since I came to Nebraska City. I was under Chief Lacey and Captain Neiman. When I first met Captain Neiman, Chief Lacey gave me the astute direction. He says, Captain Neiman's the only guys you know can make a short story long. I love it. I love it with Captain Neiman is no matter who we're asking about, we can go talk to him, and not only are you going to find out about the person, but he'll give you the genealogy all the way through there. He knows pretty much everybody. There's not probably somebody in this community he has not talked to or helped out or been a part of. Definitely going to leave a void in the department. We're gonna definitely miss him. We hope that he'll come around, especially when it comes time to stories. He has been cleaning out his office, and I've been kind of trying to give him some time because I don't want to get caught in some of those stories in the past. But he made the comment he was going to wear his uniform tonight, and I was like, it still fits? It's kind of like high school. I don't have a single piece of clothes that still fit me. But, we appreciate Captain Neiman. He's done so much for the Nebraska City community that it's really hard to put words to it. But we absolutely appreciate everything he's done for us. We definitely will miss him.
Well, thank you, everybody, for all the kind words, everything. I do appreciate it. It's been a long journey, I guess. It doesn't seem like it's been long, but in some ways. I mean, Chief Lacey was here for 42 years, something 41, 42.
He's forgotten about that.
Whatever it was, and our secretary this summer will be 50 years on that job. To me, is, impressive. I mean, 36 sounds like a long time. But no, it's been a good career. I mean, I've enjoyed it. There's obviously good times, bad times, but it is what it is. Chief Lacey was instrumental in getting me into law enforcement years ago. I needed a job. He suggested I go talk to the sheriff at the time, Jim Grass. I did, got a job with them, and then eventually a position came open on the police department, and I got that, and that was 36 years ago, coming up to 29. I want to thank the taxpayers, everybody, and mostly I want to probably, thank my wife. She raised 2 kids. I'm sure sometimes she probably thought she was a single mom, but because we worked 2 weeks days, 2 weeks nights, and so yeah. But no, it turned out good. In fact, my son's not here tonight because he's a deputy down in Nemaha County, and he's working tonight. So he and I fully understand, that he can't be here. So, but no, it's been a good career. I really enjoy it. Thank you, sir.
you already got the fast council meeting out of the way last week.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I don't know how to get Mike right out of
Nice work with them.
You have to go to academy.
I would do.
here. Do it twins here and 6 weeks or less.
Yeah. Probably less. Hopefully, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item will be proclamation for 250. I will do this proclamation, but I'll say before I start this, I'm looking forward to this year. I hope that this year is the year that our citizenry can unite rather than divide, and we can come around the fact that our country, 250 years from Declaration of Independence. It's kind of scary when I think that I'll turn 65 this year, that I've been alive for a fourth of it. It seems amazing, but then having visited other countries and lived in other countries, it also reminds you how young we are and how precious this is. Which I'm going to read one of my favorite quotes from Ronald Reagan at his inauguration as the governor of California. Freedom is a fragile thing and is never more than one generation away from extinction. It is not ours by inheritance. It must be fought for and defended constantly by each generation, for it comes only once to a people. Those who have known freedom and then lost it have never known it again. So that's a quote that I like from that. But with that, I'm going to make the 250 committee come up and join me. Since I see a lot of you here this evening. Unfortunately, we have a news guy.
Right there. Yeah.
Okay.
I got a new news guy. A new news guy.
You can do it all, okay? City of Nebraska City, whereas July 4th, 2026 marks the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, a historic moment that established the United States of America as a free and independent nation. And whereas this milestone provides an opportunity for all Americans to reflect on our shared history, honor the principles of liberty and democracy, and celebrating the enduring spirit that has guided our nation for 2.5 centuries. And whereas Nebraska City, as one of Nebraska's most historic communities, proudly joins in commemorating this occasion with events and activities planned from January through July 2026, engaging residents and visitors in honoring our heritage and envisioning our future. And whereas the City of Nebraska City recognizes the contributions of generations past and present who have worked to build a strong, vibrant community rooted in freedom, opportunity, and civic pride. Now, therefore, I, Brian Beckett, Mayor of Nebraska City, Nebraska, do hereby proclaim January through July 2026 as the official period of celebration for the 250th anniversary of the United States of America in Nebraska City. And I encourage all citizens to participate in the planned events, reflect on our nation's history, and reaffirm our commitment to the values that unite us. Who wants to speak for the committee on what is going to happen?
Okay, I guess I get to speak. We're planning quite a few events throughout the community. We're going to have a Decorate Your Yard contest. We're talking about having a children's bicycle parade.
Oh.
There will be several different humanities speakers talking about patriotic things and talking about freedoms. Sarah, our own Sarah Crook is gonna be giving a presentation on Sarah Mayhew, so we'll be talking about, about freedoms, what did freedom mean for African Americans in those days. And we'll be having Joe Starita at the Lewis and Clark Center talking about Native Americans and I Am a Man, which is a milestone for Nebraska history as well as national history. So I loved your quote because we truly believe that we are a work in progress still as a nation. And though the nation might be divided, we can take pride in our community because we espouse those tenets of the Declaration and the Constitution, showing our community pride and therefore showing our national pride. So we're looking forward to a whole bunch of events.
Yes, look forward to attending all.
Thank you. You gotta check the calendar out here.
We still, just one more note, we still encourage folks to turn in their hometown heroes, applications to be recognized as 250 prominent, influential Nebraska Cityans that have since passed, so get that in.
Thank you. Thank you all.
We want to report.
Good job.
The annual report on firefighter training hours. I think this just requires the county assist from the department that certifies the individuals who met the requirement, minimal number of hours to train, and then the other.
Chief Renner's debrief across the, we couldn't make it, but the agenda packet was correct.
Okay. Thank you. Item 9, monthly progress report from Good Life Ag LLC.
Good evening, John Humphrey, 1350 North 104th Street, Lincoln, Nebraska. Here to give you a short update on Good Life Ag and what we've been doing for the past 30 days. To start out with, this is the North Industrial Site, and the picture on my left here is, it shows a topographic overview of it, so you kind of get an idea what the grade looks like out there. There'll be a lot of dirt work that has to happen from where it is today. We do have our general contractor lined up. He's working on the plan to do that, so that's in place and being worked. And this is kind of an eye test here, but this is what our facility looks like, and it's kind of hard to see, but I did put some numbers up there. So on the bottom right anyway is where the refrigerator freezers are, where the salmon will come in from a cargo, probably a plane out of Omaha or Kansas City, where the fish will be brought up here anyway. And then to the left is where the fish will be processed at, those two long black lines, those are the fillet lines. And then to the top of the page up there by number 3, that's where all the packaging equipment's at. So the fish will be filleted, packaged, and palletized, and then moved over to number 4, which is the outgoing refrigerator freezer section there, and that's where they'll leave the facility. Number 7 is where we'll make salmon burgers. You've probably heard of those a little bit anyway. Those are a product we're going to make with the, it's called scraped, which is when you scrape the bones of the salmon after you fillet the meat that's left over, and then you mix it with other ingredients, you make salmon burgers. And we will be doing that also. Number 5 is the office area, and then number 6, that's where we'll have warehouse spacing and storage and boxes and all those things that are part of the project. That's kind of a little bit of a view anyway, looking to the south. That would be G Road on the bottom anyway, and the transfer station, up to the north anyway, the top of the screen. So changed a little bit from the previous, drawing that I showed you many months ago with the grow out facility, but this is what it looks like. It's about 265,000 square feet is what the dimensions of the building are, and that last slide anyway does have those dimensions on there if you're curious what they actually are by length and width. So some things that are upcoming: conditional use public hearing March 9th. One of our colleagues that you met, Ralph Riley, will be presenting. He's been working with staff anyway on that. We have a salmon test. Basically, we're bringing salmon in from Italy. Pardon me?
Planning and Zoning Commission. Correct. Planning and Zoning, correct.
Yes. We're doing a test anyway, we're bringing in some salmon from Norway, and we're gonna fly them into Boston, then they're gonna go over to Rochester, New York, and we'll have them filleted there. And then from there, they'll be trucked into Nebraska City, and then we're gonna disperse, there's actually fish available right now that you can buy on our website if you'd be interested in. So that's a test anyway to make sure we can do what we say we can do. A couple investors, they want a little bit of proof, right, that we can do what we say we can do. So that'll happen anyway on the 27th is when the fish will be processed in Rochester, New York. Working on the paving plan, that'll be from 27th across G Road up to the transfer station, and we'll pick up the cost of that. That's being designed, as is the traffic routing we'll have to do during the time that road is being paved, so we'll have to work through what that'll look like. I've got a company that's gonna do a study for us and give us a recommendation. The team is traveling to Europe, like we did last year, to meet with key suppliers. I might have said at one time, don't go to Iceland in February. Here we go again. So we'll be over there for about a week anyway, and meeting with some of the key contacts and the suppliers that we'll be purchasing fish from. So that's another big deal with this project anyway, is we've got contracts in place to purchase fish. The TIF application is being worked on right now, working with Marty on that. And then the CDBG application has been revised to incorporate the new design, so that's also in process. And I want to say thanks for all the support from the city members. It's been, a long project. I'm going into my 4th year now, and my financial planner would say I retired in 2017, so I'm not sure when the next one is, but we've been doing quite a bit, but this one's pretty exciting right now where we're at, so thanks for all the support. Any questions?
Are you still working with or waiting on word from the state on as far as any of the investment package or like Advantage or?
Yeah, Keel's working on all the financial things. That's kind of in his wheelhouse. So he'll be back hopefully next month anyway. We're gonna rotate this every month. And so far you've seen me the last 3 months, so something's not working.
Will you eventually be growing your own salmon, or will you always be shipping it?
That would be phase 2, but we wanna get this up and producing anyway and have some cash flow before we move to the next phase.
Will phase 2 encompass more construction, or will it be in this, a different?
Yeah,
condition?
we'd have to build a grow, and it'd probably be, maybe on that property to the west.
Okay.
Cause that was pretty big, if you remember.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thanks, John.
Okay, item 10, the treasurer's monthly report on city and utility financial holdings.
Treasurer's report, as of December 31st, 2025, total city funds, $8,514,783.62. Total utility holdings, funds, $10,425,020.97. Total city and utility funds combined, $18,939,804.59. Any questions?
The auditors are just writing the report.
Yes. I believe Terry received a draft of the initial findings, is that correct?
I haven't seen the draft. I know they're still working with Katie on some we have to,
Within the next couple of meetings,
we should, yeah, very close.
Any questions? Item 11, city administrator's monthly report on departmental activity and budget status.
Okay. I sent the report out a little bit ahead of the meeting. The format has changed just a little bit. Wanted to just kind of switch things around a little bit, just so you have a little bit more information. One of the things that I changed or added was an end of the year report from the different departments, which I think is beneficial to have, just to kind of wrap the year up. I know we get everything on a monthly basis, and I appreciate that from the departments, and I also appreciate them kind of rolling with this, because I sort of had them here in the last few weeks and asked for this, but they did a good job of getting the information in. So, but not anything too dramatic as far as changes to the format, just some additions like that. And I also wanted to add, excuse me, every month I'd like to recognize a couple of staff members. And it doesn't necessarily have to come from me. if the commissioner or staff wants to recognize somebody, just send me, some brief information as to why, and I'd be happy to get that in there. But for the first one, I want to recognize Katie Drake Hang and Chief Robert Schreiner. Katie, on top of everything else, has been working really hard to get the website up and running, and every time we think that we're almost there and getting closer and closer, there is just an extra layer and an extra layer. Right now, I know she's working with, I say a team, because it's virtually everybody. I know, Nick and Tori have been helping out quite a bit, some of the pay side of it and the reservation side. So there's just some of these things we need to tie up, and Katie's been putting in quite a lot of hours and scheduling, so I really appreciate her work on that. Chief Schreiner, and we'll get into this here in a little bit, has been instrumental in helping get some of these like the new truck and our damaged truck and volunteers coming and going. So he's constantly been juggling things on top of the fact that he has a full-time job, 47 volunteers, and his paid staff, and so I just want to recognize those two for the work that they've been doing lately on top of what they typically do. They're just great employees, and I wanted to make sure that they were recognized for their efforts. Some updates on some of our equipment. Our new remount ambulance is in. I'm not sure if anybody's had a chance to see it. I know we've put some pictures on social media. It looks great. The graphics are really nice. We got most everybody's input on the graphics, and I think they did a great job of what they picked. The new fire truck is still scheduled to be here middle of February. They've been sending some updated photos of the progress as they put it together. It's real interesting to see something built like that from scratch. So some encouraging news on that. As you recall, our old pumper truck, which was to be our backup pumper truck once we get the new one, sustained some damage. It's been in a shop for a long time. We've been going round and round with insurance and how much is going to get paid towards it and what the plan was going to be moving forward. It was not totaled, but they did pay the damage total of about $103,102 after their deductible. So now with that, it would be almost, I don't want to say impossible to fix it, but it would take a long time to fix it because it's so old. There's parts that have to be fabricated, and so we're going to move on looking for a backup or a secondary pumper truck. And so it's a lot of the staff over there at the fire department have been looking for used equipment. So you have to look at mileage and pump tests, whether they've been pump tested, they passed the pump test, see if we can get all the service records. So we've narrowed it down to a few. I know Chief Schreiner mentioned to me this afternoon that they're bringing one to us from Iowa to look at. There's another one, I don't think it's the same one that we looked at in Iowa. There's been one in Florida, one in Georgia, and then tonight Steve Recker mentioned there was one in Colorado. So you just have to look them over and make sure that we make the best decision on how we proceed with our will be our backup unit. And then, of course, we have to make sure they're all equipped. We'll take as much as we can off of the unit that we're going to take out of service and sell it, and then sell, I don't know the truck number, but the old unit. So we're basically getting rid of 2 trucks. We'll probably auction them and see what we can get out of them. And then, let's see, we do have some staff shortages for various reasons. Corey Clark has resigned from the fire department, so I want to recognize him, and we did appreciate while he was here. I think he was here for about not quite 4 years, maybe. And, so he's gonna move on to another job. We started the process of looking for his replacement and potentially another one if we have a retirement in the next few months, in the department. So, and then we have also just a number of injuries, that, we're trying to keep up with in a certain department that, our police chief is very familiar with. So, just doing our best to shuffle the deck with the staff that we have and fill in. We'll do the best to watch the budget, and if there's a little bit of overage in those departments, that's part of the reason why. When Corey Clark was injured, we had a little bit of a gap, and then when he came back, there was some, doubled up on staff a little bit just to make sure Corey could come back and perform. So Robert Earl did a great job of filling in. He's since moved on to another position, so we really appreciate Robert Earl coming back and filling that role. We just gotta move on, and it's stuff we've seen before, so, we're in good hands. Our chiefs will do a good job of making sure that we have those positions filled and our, just our schedules filled out. Let's see, I think I've covered everything. Is there any questions? That's a lot, actually.
I do like the year-end summation from each of the departments. Our standards are quite a few of them. I like being able to read that and see that, so. Good touch, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Commissioner? Moving on to item 12, the council will now acknowledge receipt of the utility claims for the period ending December 31st, 2025. The General Manager, John Bohr, is here. Any questions of that? Okay, we move on to new business. Item 13, discussion / action to approve the Board of Public Works recommendation to purchase a parcel of land for the purpose of future collector well for the total cost of $49,600.
John Bohr, General Manager, Nebraska City Utilities. This is just a purchase so that in the future, should our water needs increase, we have the ability to build a collector well right by the river. We've worked with JEO, we have a plat done, we've worked with the owners. All that it needs is final approval from the city.
I'll make a motion to approve the Board of Public Works recommendation to purchase a parcel of land for the purpose of a future collector well for a total cost of $49,600.
Second.
Motion and a second, further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Cheney?
Yes.
Commissioner Whalen?
Yes.
Commissioner Osowski?
Yes.
Mayor Beckett?
Yes. Thank you, John. Item 14, discussion / action to approve the substitution of trustee and deed of reconveyance for the warehouse antiques 2609 LLC.
This, warehouse antiques was a loan, CDBG fund, economic development loan that was forgiven with resolution 2958-24. And, they apparently are selling, and there was a lien that was on the property. This is forgiving, the resolution forgave the loan, the lien was not created or filed, subsequently. So we're filing that now, we're asking the council to approve, removing that lien, and then it'll be filed, and, they'll be able to close on the sale.
First, we have to do the
Substitution.
substitution of trustee for
Because this loan
Bill
was
Davis
back
to
from
Bill
Bill Davis.
Davis to do. Yep. Yep. I move to approve the substitution of trustee and deed of reconveyance for warehouse antiques 2609 LLC. Motion is second, further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Cheney?
Yes.
Commissioner Osowski?
Yes.
Commissioner Whalen?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Mayor Beckett?
Yes. Item 15, discussion / action to approve the general administration agreement with the Southeast Nebraska Development District for Public Works Infrastructure Grant through the Community Development Block Grant, 25 PWI 014 in the amount of $25,000 for fifth Corso, and approve the marriage sign determination level of review.
Marty Silva, Construction Facility Manager. So as the council is aware, we were successful in receiving our CDBG grant for the fifth Corso project. This is kind of the next steps, is to enter in the general administration agreement with SIND. They will provide the administrative services with the grant and assist the city. This $25,000 is paid for within the grant. And so asking the council to approve the general administration agreement and the determination of level of review. And so that document's key to get started with the environmental work that needs to be done. So any questions for me? Thank you.
I'll motion that we approve general administration agreement with Southeast Nebraska Development District for Public Works Infrastructure Grant through Community Development Block Grant, CDBG 25 PWI 014 in the amount of $25,000, and approve the mayor to sign the determination of level of review.
I'll second. Motion is second, further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner White?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Osowski?
Yes.
Commissioner Cheney?
Yes.
Mayor Becker?
Yes. Item 16, discussion/action to approve the construction management agreement with Southeast Nebraska Development District for Public Works Infrastructure Grant through the Community Development Block Grant, 25 PWI 1014, the amount of $5,000, and allow notice.
Marty Stovall, Construction Facility Manager. So again, this is the same project for the fifth Corso. This agreement's with SEND also to provide the construction management, and so those documents are kind of just make sure all the right posters and pay apps and things of that nature for the construction side of the project. I'm bringing it to the council tonight so it's fresh in our mind on getting these across the finish line. We won't actually sign this and fully execute it until we do get the release of funds for the project, which will be after the determination of level of review is complete. So, any questions? And it's also funded within the grant.
I'll motion to approve construction management agreement with Southeast Nebraska Development District for Public Works Infrastructure Grant through the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG 25 PWI 014 in the amount of $5,000, and allow the mayor to sign once release of funds have been obtained.
Motion is second, further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Osowski?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Whalen?
Yes.
Commissioner Cheney?
Yes.
Mayor Beckett?
Yes. Item 17, discussion/action to approve the subrecipient award agreement for the tree grant for the North Table Creek Trail, Form 3B and USDA certification 1048 form in the amount of approximately $55,000, and allow the city administrator Perry Mater to sign as authorized official.
Marty Stovall, Construction Facility Manager. So this grant was, we had approved submitting the grant, I don't know, 6 months back, completed the grant. We're successful. It was through the Nebraska Arboretum. Nebraska Arboretum's now called Plant Nebraska, so it's a little confusing, but there's federal funds coming down from USDA, passed down through Plant Nebraska. And so this is all being worked through a portal. So as I wrote the grant, I put city administrator as the official signer and just bring any documents to the city council for approval to allow Perry to sign, because I didn't want the mayor to have to be chased down to fill out the portal whenever, next steps up. So there is just a Form 3B, USDA certification, it's 1048, standard city stuff. The subrecipient award is 54 pages long. It's got a lot of federal jargon in there. We sent that to Drew, he's reviewed it, and he has no issues, but just here to ask the council to approve Perry to sign these in the portal and get them turned around and try to get the release of funds. So it is $54,993, but it's spread over 3 years. So we're gonna plant the trees, but it also comes with additional 2-year contract to take care of said trees with a local nursery or a regional nursery. So, any questions for me? Thank you.
I'll motion to approve the sub-recipient award agreement, tree grant for North Table Creek Trail, Form 3B, and USDA Certification 1048 form in the amount of approximately $55,000, and allow City Administrator Perry Nader to sign as authorized official.
Second. Motion is second, further discussion?
Commissioner Whalen?
Yes.
Commissioner Osowski?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Cheney?
Yes.
Mayor Beckett?
Yes, thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Item 18, discussion size action to approve the golf and pool rates for 2026.
Tori Ward, Assistant Park and Rec Director. We're starting at the pool. Last season, only the pool rate that was increased was the family pass. All our rates remained unchanged. So for the 2026 season, we're looking at target adjustments being proposed. So daily admission rates for all ages increased by 50 cents. Children 2 and under still remain free. The family season pass is proposed to increase that by $5, so from $225 to $230, and this continues to cover up to 6 household. The single passes we increased by $2.50. The senior military passes are increased by $2. This is keeping it affordable, but also addressing those rising costs that we see. And then the only other thing we really messed with was the pool rentals and group rates. We adjusted those slightly to better reflect the staffing and supervision requirements that are needed for those. For Wildwood, the golf course underwent rate restructuring last year, but we didn't really increase any rates at that time. So the proposed 2026 rates represent the first price increase since we restructured last year. So season memberships increased about 5% for each thing. Depending on the membership and cart inclusion, so it's about a 5% across. Green fees increased by approximately $1 per round on weekdays and weekends. Cart fees and cart storage fees were adjusted to reflect charging, maintenance, those types of costs. And then groups and tournament rates were increased slightly to account for staffing and the cart usage during those events. Normally we have a few more people, so we would account for that. And corporate rate memberships were increased as well to stay in line with all the other increases on that page. All proposed increases have been reviewed by Commissioner Whaling and were made intentionally to keep manageable. These rates are comparable with our like facilities in our area. With the increase in minimum wage, these adjustments are necessary to help offset the rising labor costs. The Steinhardt Aquatic Center employs about 50 to 60 seasonal employees, and the golf course employs 10 to 12 employees, all who fall under the minimum wage umbrella. So this just helps us this increase in our rates help allow us to continue providing safe, well-staffed, and accessible facilities for our community members. Do you have any questions?
Does this help us, does that minimum wage increase, does it help us retain and attract employees? Do you have a hard time filling out your rosters, your seasonal rosters?
For the pool, it's always like a numbers game for the kids. If you show them the money, what they're gonna make, they kind of come in. There are actually a couple of pools that aren't paying near what we are, just because we do give a little bump because of our lifeguards. And so that has attracted a couple of people with experience to our area, which is going to help me out tremendously this summer, just having a little bit of a bump. We are a bigger facility than a lot of the places around us, so also they like that attraction of working at our facility. But yeah, the minimum wage does help that.
Cart storage, we used to have inside open, we don't have that anymore. So
No, because that would have been in the middle. There used to be able to store it in the inside, so we don't have that anymore.
And then on the senior, we're also dropping it to 55 to match the pool.
Yes. Is that still on there?
Yeah, last year it was 60 and over, and this year we're having it 55.
Yep, to match the pool, yep.
And then on the tournament rates, is that, there's one for just a golfer, and then they take it $2 more for the cart. Is that what that means? 30, 32 for this year? We didn't have a cart rate for tournaments before, did we? Or was that? I just don't understand the pricing under the tournament rates.
So when people wanna have tournaments, when like an outside group wants to come in and have a tournament, we charge each person the $30, for the tournament. Like, that's what the people who are hosting have to pay us to host their event.
Okay, so is it 30 or 32, or is it matter if it's cart or no cart? Or did we just put the prices in there?
I just put the prices,
So it's the prices on the right side,
which are,
on the tournament.
It's on the screen, Tori, if you want. So it has $30.
oh, I should have,
And then $32 on the right side.
oh, 32 with the cart then.
Okay,
Yeah, sorry.
Does that make sense?
so we need to scratch out that first dollar,
Yeah.
sign on each
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So the biggest bump is the corporate.
Yes, and we wanted to separate them a little bit, because they were almost the exact same, but you get more with the corporate A. And so a little bit more separation between the two of them, because with corporate A, you get to have guests, like each person gets to bring 10 guests, and so we just wanted to make that a little bit different than, because before it was like the same verbiage, so.
That's a good question.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed golf and pool rates for 2026.
I'll second. Motion is second, further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Cheney,
Yes.
Commissioner Osowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp,
Yes.
Commissioner Whalen,
Yes.
Mayor Beckett.
Yes. Thank you, Tori. Thank you,
Thank
Nick.
you.
Item 19, discussion slash action to approve the request to apply to foundations and approach several local sporting associations to assist in the improvement of the current sports facilities and to help advance the ADA accessibility to the facilities.
Nick Schmitz, pardon me, Park and Recreation Director. So on this item, the Parks Department's looking for permission from the council to approach some foundations and possibly some local athletic association groups in our community to help with the cost of making some improvements at our current softball complex facility. We've identified some areas out there that we feel could be beneficial with some addition of concrete to help with accessing the entire facility and to accommodate the area around our concession stand. So I submitted some photos with this packet to kind of help describe what we feel would be some improvements. We have, I don't know if you want to put those up, we can go through them if you'd like. So basically on this first photo, that current handicap space is probably wouldn't be ADA compliant, it's a little undersized. So that would be something we identified to replace and make a little bit larger. The second photo shows the north side of the concession stand. You can see it's all gravel all the way around that facility. So photos 2, 3, 4, and 5 are basically just photos of that area. The plan would be to concrete all within the privacy fence that surrounds that current area. That would be on the south side of the facility right now. We would tie into the existing concrete that's on the west side facing south. The proposed concrete improvement would be tying in with the current, sidewalk that's there to complete the complete area around that concession stand with concrete. Photos 7, shows an area of the current sidewalk that would be torn out, replaced. We have a drainage issue here. We end up with a lot of standing water that eventually turns to mud through time with runoff from the bank on the right-hand side there to the north. The curb area, we would extend that current sidewalk would extend down to the base of some steps that are located a little bit further west there. The current curb area along there would be replaced with a 2 to 3 foot stub wall with backfill along in between the wall itself and field 1. Photo 8 shows the end of that current sidewalk, and you can see the stairs that take you up to fields 1 and 2. The new proposed concrete would extend to the base of that stairwell. And then on the next photo, at the base of that step, the proposed, a big piece of the ADA aid to this project would be to run a sidewalk from the bottom of that step up to the pad that's located behind that bleacher that you see in the distance. The next photo is kind of a reverse image of that, looking back down to where that sidewalk would start and finish at. Currently, there's no easy way for wheelchairs to access fields 1 and 2. We do have one sidewalk that does go to that, but it wouldn't pass an ADA compliant test. It's too steep. So the contractors believe that they could put this long stretch of sidewalk in that would be compliant to help with that. Then the final piece to this project would be, in the next picture, we would, at the base of that set of steps, we would add an additional handicap accessible parking space that would tie back into all of the new concrete. So patrons of our park could access the restrooms, the concession stand, and all 3 fields rather easy and make that a little more friendly for them. So through conversations with permission, we would approach foundations, and then, like I said, the local sport associations to help with this cost. I think just in some conversations, I think we have some support from those associations. I did visit with 2 separate contractors on this, local. I think they would team up on this and kind of split the work up. If we weren't able to receive all the funding, we could do this in stages and steps and identify the highest need to the lowest, and then start at that point and do this through time as well. So the complete project would not exceed $50,000. The bid came in around 46, with some possible, we'd have some additional expenses with backfill, seeding, sod, things like that. Probably a handrail along the top of the proposed retaining wall. So the entire project though would not exceed 50,000. So, any questions on any of that? Sorry about my photography skills; they're not the best. But I picked probably the worst day. It was raining and there were leaves everywhere. I was trying to roll leaves to.
Well, better than snow, man.
Yeah, well, you are correct, sir.
Make a motion to approve the request to apply to foundations and approach several local sports associations to assist in the improvement of the current sports facilities to help advance the ADA accessibility to the facilities to be at the softball complex.
I'll second.
Motion is second, further discussion?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Cheney?
Yes.
Commissioner Osowski?
Yes.
Commissioner Whalen?
Yes.
Mayor Beckett?
Yes. Thank you, Nick.
Good luck. Thank you, Tori.
Item 20, discussion slash action to approve JAO Task Order 2025-04 for bidding/negotiation of construction administration services not to exceed the amount of $27,000 for the library west exterior remodel.
Evening, Donna Cruz, Library Director, here tonight to gain approval for the task order. So we can move on to bidding and negotiation and construction services portion of the West Side project. We have secured the funds and to cover the task order as well as the whole project. And my board and staff are ready to move forward.
Is there a specific fund that the 27 has to come out of, or can it come out of the
It can come out of the general.
general? The deliverable on their end on this one is,
The bidding and
It's 3 and 4, so bidding and negotiations, we'll get the bids back, and then, you know, if we move forward with construction, they'll provide construction services. On an hourly basis, we'll be as limited as possible.
up to 20.
about you. I move that we approve the JAO Task Order 2025-04 for the bidding/negotiation and construction administration services not to exceed the amount of $27,000 for the library west exterior remodel.
I'll second.
Motion and second for the discussion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Osowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Whaley,
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp,
Yes.
Commissioner Cheney,
Yes.
Mayor Beckett.
Yes. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Time, please.
6:58 PM.
6:58. You'll be able to catch the